Dear friends, I cannot think of another person who has more right to carry that sentence in his heart than our distinguished guest. We're extremely fortunate to have President Lech Walesa, with us tonight, the leader who wrote history for his country and for the entire world. Let me briefly introduce President Walesa to you. As a 24-year-old car mechanic, Lech Walesa moved to Gdańsk, where he found a job as an electrician in the Lenin shipyard. When the workers' protests broke out in 1970, he became a member of the strike committee. In 1976, dismissed from work, since that time he actively participated in creating free trade unions that eventually were established in March 1978. In August 1980, President Walesa joined the occupational strike in the Lenin shipyard and became the chairman of the Inter-Enterprise Strike Committee, declaring solidarity with striking workers in other enterprises. In November 1980, the first legal independent trade union, Solidarność, or Solidarity, was registered. A year later, Lech Walesa was elected its president. In 1981, when martial law was imposed to seize the control over the country and to prevent all further union activity, Lech Walesa was interned for almost a year. In 1983, President Walesa was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. In 1989, he became the chairman of the opposition delegation in the roundtable talks with communist government, and in 1990, Lech Walesa was elected President of the Republic of Poland. President Lech Walesa has been granted more than 100 honorary doctorates from colleges and universities in the world, and numerous prizes and medals among them. Among them U.S. Medal of Freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President Lech Walesa.
Szanowni Państwo,
ladies and gentlemen,
jak już z tego widać, nekrolog mój będzie długi.
As you can tell by this presentation, my obituary will be really long.
A jeszcze trochę chcę dopisać do tego.
And I still want to add a few items on it.
Bardzo dziękuję, że spotyka mnie zaszczyt spotkać Państwa.
Thank you very much for this honor of being here with you, meeting you all.
Jak już na wstępie mówiłem, chciałbym zostać ostatnim rewolucjonistą.
As you heard me say when I first came in, I would like to remain the last revolutionary in the history of mankind.
Padło będzie wtedy dużo pomników.
Which, as I said, may imply a lot of monuments to honor me.
I tak naprawdę jest taka szansa.
And we really stand a chance for me becoming the last revolutionary.
Ale musimy przy takich spotkaniach zauważyć, co by należało zrobić, by tak się stało.
Providing we really realize whenever we get together, whenever we have a debate, we realize what needs to be done in the world for me to remain the last revolutionary.
Szanowni Państwo, zdajmy sobie sprawę z tego, że jesteśmy wyjątkowym pokoleniem.
We need to realize that we are a very, very special generation.
Za życia naszego zmieniały się setlecia, tysiąclecia, a właściwie zmieniają się epoki.
During our lifetime, we have witnessed the beginning of a new century, of a new millennium, but truly speaking, we have witnessed the beginning of a new era.
Z epoki podziału, wojen, konfrontacji weszliśmy na epokę intelektu, informacji, globalizacji.
Out of the era of wars and divisions and confrontation, we have started up an era of intellect, information and globalization.
Żadne pokolenie do tej pory nie miało takiej szansy na pokój, na rozwój, na dobrobyt.
No other generation before was faced with an equal opportunity for peace, prosperity and well-being.
Ale zauważmy, że całe życie, nawet wasza piękna szkoła, uczelnia, uczyła nas myślenia państwo, kraj, konfrontacje.
But we need to realize that everything in the past, and even your wonderful university has taught us to look at things from the perspective of a state, of a country, being ready for some kind of a confrontation.
Przede wszystkim interes nasz osobisty, ale państwa kraju też.
And we have been focused on our personal interest in the first run, and then, secondly, on the interest of our country.
A ta epoka mówi o czymś innym, szczególnie w Europie widać.
Meanwhile, this new era implies a totally new perspective, which we can see most clearly on the example of Europe.
Interes europejski jest ważniejszy niż polski, niż innych państw.
Now, the interest of whole Europe is much greater, much more important than the interest of Poland and other respective member states.
I to nie zachcianka, nie mrzonka, to wyższa konieczność.
And this implication is not really a whim of anyone, it's not a wishful thinking, but it's just a necessity.
I aby zostać ostatnim rewolucjonistą, ja nie mam odpowiedzi na 3 duże pytania.
And you know what? I will remain this last revolutionary if we find an answer to 3 basic questions.
Pomóżcie mi.
Help me, assist me please.
Pierwsze
Invite
pytanie.
me, please.
Jaki system ekonomiczny pod jedno państwo Europa, a jutro pod globalizację?
The first question that needs an answer is what should be the economic system that will be appropriate for one single state that is called Europe, and tomorrow will suit well globalization.
Uwierzcie mi, że to, co teraz mamy w ekonomii, to jest, nie przeżyje tego setlecia.
Trust me, the current economic system that we have in place shall not survive this century.
Widzicie, co się w Grecji dzieje?
Can you observe the developments in Greece?
A w kolejce stoją inne państwa.
And there are already other countries following, like waiting in line to follow in the footpath of Greece.
A nie zapominajmy, że podważyliśmy wielką rolę Pana Boga, różnego Pana Boga, różnych wiar.
Let us not forget that we have, in our majority, questioned the importance of God, and I mean of God in different religions.
Nie boimy się sąsiadów, bo pokój między wszystkimi ma być.
We are no longer scared of our neighbors. Don't worry that the neighbor may attack us because peace seems inevitable.
To co w takim stanie rzeczy robi ludzie pracy?
And so what do the working masses do under such circumstances?
Nie mając hamulcy i pełną demokrację,
They have full democracy, they feel no restrictions in their acts.
dla mnie jest dla rewolucjonisty oczywiste.
I can tell you what they do. I know it for sure as a revolutionary.
Żądają sprawiedliwości i równości.
They seek justice and fairness and equal rights.
I demokracja do tego doprowadzi.
And democracy will allow them to seek that fairness.
W pierwszym ruchu to ładnie brzmi.
At a short run, it seems that these their demands will be fair and just, but
Ale w czwartym, w piątym do czego to prowadzi?
But in a longer run, what will it lead us to?
Zabije inicjatywę, przedsiębiorczość.
I foresee that such attitudes will kill all the entrepreneurial drive.
I wtedy jako cywilizacja zapłacimy rachunek.
And it will be only then that we will pay an extremely high price as whole civilization for such attitudes.
Aby utrzymać ten system ekonomiczny, musimy co najmniej potroić ilość kapitalistów, właścicieli.
So I think that in order to hold in place the current, allow it to survive as a current economic system, we need to at least triple the number of those who own some assets and
A więc
capital.
nie budować wielkich zakładów, a więcej szerzej.
Therefore, let us not build huge companies that grow high into the sky, but wider, smaller, shorter ones.
Drugie pytanie o demokrację.
Then there is this unanswered question regarding the shape of democracy.
Popatrzcie, co się dzieje. Jednego dnia wybiorą, a następnego dnia na ulicy chcą zmieniać.
Because look at what is happening now. One day they elect a certain representative or a politician, and the following day they just throw rocks at that politician, trying to push him out of office by protesting in the streets.
Do tej pory liczono nas na sztuki. Kto miał więcej sztuk, to wygrywał wybory i inne rzeczy.
So far we have followed the principle one individual, one vote. So whoever managed to gather more individuals would always win a vote or an election.
Kilka lat temu w Europie chcieliśmy wprowadzić konstytucję dla całej Europy, dla wszystkich państw.
Some years ago we wanted to introduce a European constitution that all the member states would comply with.
Patrzcie, demokracje się nie zgodziły, nie udało się to.
But you know, democracies never approved of it, and it was not implemented.
A to tak oczywiste potrzebne.
And we can very clearly see that we need such a constitution for Europe.
W wielu tematach nie mogliśmy się dogadać, ale przede wszystkim
You know what? We couldn't reach a consensus on many issues, but the major one was
nie wiedzieliśmy, komu ile dać głosu. Ile ma mieć Francja, ile Polska, ile Niemcy.
we did not know, we could not reach an agreement on the voting quota for respective countries. How many votes should go to France, how many to Germany and to other countries?
A nikt nie zauważył, że obojętnie co byśmy nie zrobili, ale nawet tym kluczem sobie, tym państwom europejskim, to co byśmy zrobili, kiedy do wielu struktur dołączą Chiny, Indie?
But no one realized at that stage that if we continue with that principle, and give the same voting quota to India and China, which will inevitably, sooner or later, integrate with our structures.
A w globalizacji tak będzie się działo.
Because this is what will inevitably happen in a globalized